I am convinced that the people of Brightmoor are incredibly creative. Necessity demands to be satisfied. You have to come up with something. You got to invent. This very place right here is evidence.
Hello, my name is Yvette Rock, and I am the founder and executive director of Live Coal. Our mission is to transform lives and neighborhoods through art, community development, and education.
Got me feeling so free. Got me feeling so free. It's about time.
Brightmoor area is one of the areas in the Detroit community that has really been underserved. Brightmoor is 22,000 people, round numbers. The median income, meaning 50% of the community, lives below $34,000 a year. We have all of the associated problems that come with poverty. Incidents of crime, health challenges. But I also believe, because I've seen it, we can overcome that. I don't know what they meant by live coal, but what it means to me is that we are a living diamond being formed, that the pressure of life, which can break you, can also make you into this incredible, valuable thing that I believe God has intended each of us to be.
When we first got here, there weren't a lot of residents on the block. The land it really had been abandoned for several years. There was a lot of garbage, a lot of debris, and it was basically a site for dumping. As we were in the process of just clearing the space, cleaning it up, one of the worst things that we had to deal with was finding a deceased person on our land. That incident was very troubling and very challenging for us. I wanted to give up. But couldn't. We knew that the work had to continue. I'm a person of faith, and one of the things that inspires me is a scripture in Isaiah 58 that talks about being restorers and being repairers. And so I had to come back. My husband and I had to come back and just continue this work.
Go ahead and begin to wrap it up. This is how I want us to wrap it up. We're going to separate by kind again. These are just regular newspapers, decorated papers. If you can stack those for me. The magazine type papers, please keep it separate for me. And then just put those piles on your table. Reading papers, another pile. All your markers, pens, pencils go back in the containers in the middle.
Detroit rePatched is an arts-infused green space and art hub in Detroit's Brightmoor neighborhood. The purpose of Detroit rePatched is really multifaceted. We want to connect art plus land, art plus people, and art plus home.
Okay, so I'm gonna make the hole, and then I'll give you guys the plans to throw in there. How about?
What? Hey, also.
Back.
I'm a huge fan of Live Coal and rePatched. I've known Yvette probably now about 6 years. We've worked together in various art-related and community projects. She is an awesome advocate for arts, and Live Coal kind of carries forth her vision, she and her husband, their vision, allowing art to be a vector for elevating all of the community.
Yvette's been a friend whom I've known for several decades. She's really committed to doing art that is located in the community, and so she pulls in the gifts and talents that people have and their vision. So particularly in Detroit, sometimes the level of abandonment and blight is a blank canvas, and not necessarily in a good way for people who are not invested in the community. But Yvette really spends a lot of time getting to know people, working with what they have to bring, working with different passions and talents. So that's a really unique gift that she has and that she brings to the world around her.
Have you guys done collage before, where you cut out papers and magazines, okay, to build on it? The other thing I just thought of when I was standing there listening to you all talking is,
we have a group of artists, they're called the Live Coal Collective, and these are an annually selected group of local artists that we work with. They can be writers, they can be photographers, filmmakers, painters, sculptors, and so forth. We really want to invite them to just come alongside this mission, but also really find their own personal voice and discover more about who they are as creatives in this space. So really I see Detroit rePatched as a space that we're making available to residents, to artists, to local creatives.
My relationship to rePatched is coming in as, I would say, like a magical alchemist. You know, it's my part to sit and listen and also feel the energy of the space and see what magic I can put on the walls, on the houses as a mural. Some people have a certain calling. I know that mine is an answering and a journey of healing, of creating medicine in areas where it's needed. It's a part of artivism. So my activism or artistry can't just be creating things that people buy. It has to be a part of my journey to give my work a voice in a place where it is needed, and in a community like this Brightmoor community, to have something so beautiful in a place that people might consider desolate. You know, it's sort of rebellious, if you will, to have rePatched in Brightmoor. It is a part of activism that is Yvette Rock's dream in this community where many have left it.
Okay.
Then
I came to Detroit from the Chicagoland area about almost 10 years ago now. I wanted to kind of get plugged into the agriculture. There's always been agriculture in Detroit. It's always been a really known for really its strong communities of people growing gardens, and I just really felt called to come and check it out. Honestly, I feel like Live Coal has kind of challenged me as an artist. Being asked to be a part of the collective and then working with amongst like other artists that are involved has been a huge source of inspiration to me now as an artist.
You're gonna be like, I just want to do your idea. I really like it. Let's flesh that out. Let's build.
I think Yvette and Josh have a good way of bringing the community together and getting them out. Even when we're building or when we're painting or doing things like in this area, people will stop and say, hey, like, I'm glad you're doing this, or what are you doing? Or, you know, they're curious and usually pretty happy about the whole experience.
Michael Reed also served as one of our mentors, and Michael was the supervisor for a lot of the work of creating the outdoor classroom and stage here at Detroit rePatched.
So initially we met with Yvette and we kind of figured out like a game plan of what she wanted, how she wanted it placed, what she was using it for. And then we made a model with our students. And then from that model, we basically just came out and started working. First day was digging holes and mapping everything out. And then we slowly just build it from the ground up. Most of the students have built something similar, so they're pretty well versed in it. The ones that haven't, either me and the other students will kind of help and teach them like through the process.
Of course he has. We will proceed no further in this business.
So, which one of these colors? This is $7.99 a yard. So, which one of these colors do you think would be good for everybody? So that way you don't go to buy too much of them.
I'm really looking forward to the upcoming fall season, for example, where we will continue working with our neighbor on sewing classes. We anticipate anywhere from 5 to 10 individuals who will be taking sewing classes with our neighbor here, Sophia, and learning basic sewing skills.
Last semester, we taught just the basic sewing, how to sew by hand and to sew on a sewing machine. And then we learned about making the different stitches on the sewing machine, and just basically how to use a sewing machine.
It's one of our purposes to come alongside even the educational system and provide kind of these alternative ways of learning outside of the normal educational system. So Detroit rePatched has a lot of things that we're doing here, and that includes our educational work. Another one of our programs here at Detroit rePatched is our Artists in Residence program. Artists in Residence have the opportunity to create their own works of art and own body of work while also collaborating and working with our community. These artists have opportunities to host workshops, and these workshops give neighbors a chance to really do some hands-on learning projects, such as this year we worked with artist Najit Kaur, and she brought her own ceramic and clay experience to our residents. She hosted several workshops. We had at least 32 individuals come through and participate in creating these clay works, which the artist will then take and create a permanent installation for our site here. In 2021, we received a Night Arts Challenge grant. And one of the original concepts for that grant is that we would create outdoor studio spaces. So Mark had an opportunity to build 2 of our outdoor studio spaces.
So the 2 studios are, one, an open studio, which is open on 3 sides. It has a back wall. It consists of basically a roof and then a natural floor. The other studio, also an outdoor artist studio, is a little bit smaller. It's got about an 8-foot by 10-foot footprint, and it has, I'd say, 3/4 of the walls are made from reclaimed windows, old windows, and then it's got a angled roof and a wooden floor.
The purpose of this is to bridge that gap, to bring artists out of their normally maybe enclosed, confined spaces and allowing them to be more public in their art making process so others can witness the process that artists take to create their works.
I am fully behind the work that Yvette is doing here in Brightmoor, taking vacant lots and old homes and restoring them. I think that's a real encouragement to neighbors. And since I live in this neighborhood, I'm invested in seeing it improve, and I am that's the reason that I'm involved with Detroit rePatched. I really support this kind of activity.
Over the last several years, I've been working with Detroit rePatched. We've managed to work in a neighborhood, Brightmoor neighborhood, and so just trying to maybe work on it, bring some life to the community, and share what artists do and what artists bring to a situation, which is a lot of creativity and positivity. This area, by this area being blighted like it is, there's a lot of vacant land, and there was a human body that was disposed of on a part of the property, and so I was asked to make a memorial.
Commissioning Safel to do this was really important, and as an artist, Safel took this on, and is a very complicated project to create a sculpture that would last, and out of steel. That thing probably weighs over 500 pounds, yet it has this delicate appearance also of a blanket.
I worked with the fabricator, so we were able to shape it and bend it so it looks like it's kind of moving. And then once you decide that it's formed the way you want it formed, that takes a while. I think maybe over a period of 7 months, we worked on that piece. And then also being able to find someone to pick it up, deliver it, and then also install it. Overall, I think I worked on the project for maybe about 7 months. That's including drawings, the steel, transporting, installing, and then the dedication.
Welcome. I do want to say that there's a lot of you here today who've been doing this work in Brightmoor and who've been present here and loving in this neighborhood and on people here for a long time. And so we're like the new kids on the block, and so we just want to say thank you to all of you who have been here doing beautiful work. And for those of you who know me well, and those maybe who don't, you can learn this about me. You can call me Restorer, but my name is Yvette Rock, and I really feel like part of my life mission is to restore.
People have to create their own liberation. Nobody's going to give you freedom. Nobody's going to give you prosperity. No matter what path or idea you have or theory you have, you, the person, has to exercise their personal power to achieve that.
So much of this work, it's not speedy work. We really want to lay a good foundation, and just being present here and not having the answer to everything. We want to really interact with our neighbors and residents here and get to know them, and for them to get to know us, for them to give us ideas of what they want to see in this space as well. So we're hoping just for continued mutual relationships with residents here. It's not just about us here in this space, but it's for others to take back with them and to share with their communities what might be possible. For example, we have a local resident here who saw what we're doing and has asked us, for just ideas for what can they do in their area. And that kind of dialogue is priceless. It's just how can we continue this work throughout the city to make this the beautiful city that it is, and to continue to make it a vibrant city.
Oh, my bag. This particular bag is, I am a womanist, which is a bit different from a feminist. I like to support women who are in the arts, whether it is performative, whether it is visual, whether it is lyrical, euphonic, but those who create space for those who don't have those voices.
I believe everything that Loud Code stands for and what they are doing, I was 12 years old when I signed up for the program, so I actually was a student here. There's a lot of people in Detroit that Live Code and rePatched have helped. Live Code in itself embodies this helping the community. So that in his own right is like the most important thing for me.
So this is just an example of the kind of portraits that I like to do. As you can see, it's not a realistic portrait. I've exaggerated portions in order to bring out what I think is their character.
So this is a pot holder that we made. This is another one. It's quilted with smaller stitches. And this is a drawstring bag that we made. And this is a quilt that I'm hoping we could do a quilting class in the fall and we could make quilts like this.
I have a property that's next door to the land that she has, and she restores and rebuilds and do a lot of networking with children, and I love it. And it makes the neighborhood look better. So, you know, when community do community work, it's just a beautiful thing to see. I love everything about Detroit rePatched.
I really liked just the classes. The people were really nice, and I learned a lot from the classes. And the sewing, I really liked how to learn. I just really like doing art, like any really art, and I'm more of an art person than a play person. And the classes were really nice, so I just wanted to stay in the classes and talk to the people.
So nothing else?
No.
Good. All right, well, thank you very much.
Good.
We're gonna go ahead and cut there.
Yay.
All right, and cut.